Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. It's Cam. Today we're coming in with an absolute banger of a story time for y'all. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below for any potential video ideas that you guys might have. And without further ado, let's get started with this. Alright, so the story for today is going to be this one time in 7th grade when I took a single hit of this screw-on cart, and I genuinely kid you not, I started hallucinating music in my ears. So, let's just jump right into this. Alright, so this all started when two of my friends, we're gonna call them Desi and Lala, right? So they had asked me to come over to Desi's house because they wanted to kick it and smoke, right? So when I had arrived at their house, none of us had anything, right? We all had to throw some money together, look for a plug, all that, right? So, of course, plugs being plugs, not a single one answered for like the first probably hour and a half. We probably went through like 10, 15 different ones, and they were all inactive. It was actually insane. So by the time that we did finally find a plug that could serve us, it had already been like a good hour and a half after I had gotten there. So, keep in mind that I'm in 7th grade at this time. So, I still had a pretty early curfew, right? My mom's pretty strict at the time. So, I want to say it was probably like 6:30 by now, right? And then we got the plug to to deliver, right? I kid you not, this fucking guy charged us $40 for a screw-on. But, our feeble 7th grade fiend minds just did not care. We knew how bad of a scam that was, but we genuinely did not care because we were just fiending so bad for a cart. But that's kind of beside the point. And, right, so after we got the plug to deliver, we went outside, went to pick it up. And before we had gone back into her house, we wanted to, like, go around back and smoke, so her mom didn't like catch us or anything. So we went around back and we went into her shed, which was like a pretty cool smoke spot. It is pretty often that we went in there. And so we quickly ripped the cart out of the box, and Desi offered me to take the first hit. And oh my god. So I had taken probably like a good 4 or 5 second hit. It really wasn't even anything crazy. And I was an absolute fiend at this time, so I had a pretty big tolerance to weed. And so after we were done passing the cart around a little bit in her shed, it was probably like 7:30 at the time. And so then we went back inside to her house. I mean, back to her room. And like this shit didn't hit for like the first 5-10 minutes. So I was chilling at first, right? And so, like, right after we went back inside, it was about time that I had to head home, which kind of sucked because I was hoping that I was going to be able to chill there for a bit, but it's really whatever. So I started gathering my things and I started leaving, and that's when it started kicking in a little bit. I didn't really notice anything, really. I was just a little high. And then, I said bye to them. I left. And then, as I started walking home, this thing hit me like an absolute truck. Like, it's one of the most intense highs I have ever felt. This was like 3 years ago, and I've never felt anything like it since, or even before that. To this day, I still don't know what was in that cart. And as I was walking home, just like randomly out of nowhere, music started playing in my headphones. I don't really remember what it was because it was so long ago. But I remember, some music started playing. And then, as I was listening to it, it sounded gorgeous. But I remembered I didn't bring my headphones. So as soon as I realized that, it just started fading away. And that was like one of the most confusing experiences I have ever had on weed. I don't even think it was weed, like genuinely. Nothing really eventful happened on the walk home, except for the fact that I just felt like I was dying the entire fucking time. But, that's beside the point. That's just like an average Tuesday, am I right? But, as I was walking home and I was approaching back to my house, I kind of realized, how the fuck am I gonna get inside? I am baked out of my mind. I probably can't even talk. I'm like nonverbal at this point. My eyes are probably bloodshot. Like, it's I'm just like imagining everything that can go wrong because I can just see how like high I look without even looking at myself because I could feel it. And the last thing I really remember was approaching my back door and then I kind of just appeared in my room. Like, I don't know what happened between that time. I don't remember how long passed. I don't know anything really. I just appeared in my room, baked out of my mind, and I was ready to sleep, bro. So I tried to lay down in my bed and try to fall asleep. Holy shit, I kid you not, yo. My whole room was spinning. It felt like I was dying, bro. I had the urge to throw up, and then I went into the bathroom to try and get it out, and I just couldn't. Like, I don't know why. I was just dry heaving, even though, like, I had stuff to throw up. It just would not come up. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. And like I said before, to this day, I still have never experienced something even similar to this. So I don't know what was in that cart. It could have been Fetty, it could have just been synthetic cannabinoids, but like even synthetic cannabinoids, since then I've tried, like nothing has given me a high quite like that. And especially with the part where I started hearing music in my ears. That's something that you would hear off of like an acid story, not a cart. So that has me even more confused. But after I stopped dry heaving and I felt slightly better from at least trying to throw up, I laid back down in bed for probably another 10-15 minutes. I didn't even like open my phone. I was just laying there staring at my ceiling, trying to just make the spins stop. And then after a little bit, I have fallen asleep. And then I remember quite vividly waking up at like 1:30 in the morning and just still being so fucked up. Like, I could not function even after getting my sleep. So, if y'all are gonna take anything from this story, just make sure you get a cart from a reliable source so you don't end up in the same situation that I was in this day, because that could have ended a lot worse than it did. I hope you guys really enjoyed this story. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did. Drop a comment down below for any video suggestions like I said before. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. Have a good one.